On Vanderpump this week, I saw Tom Schwartz himself tell the whole world that him and Joseph were going to get married in 8 years. So I think you got to give that poor girl some slack. She is clearly in love with the guy, and he is still very clearly feeding that fire. We finally got to spend some real time with Ariana's new dude, Daniel. And I gotta say, I'm with Lala on this one. I think it's a little suspect too. Not in a malicious way. I'm sure that he's a decent dude, but just kind of in a gross, pathetic way. Because honestly, why would he or anyone with any self-respect want to be with someone who just went through a traumatic breakup and clearly hasn't processed their emotions about that relationship of 10 years? She hardly even had 2 weeks between the time that shit went sideways with Tom and meeting Dan at a mutual friend's wedding. But I get it. She just needed a soft place to land, and he happened to be at the right place at the right time. He might be a nice guy, but that doesn't mean he's the right guy. He's just right for right now, and that's okay. The whole gang went for a very rocky boat ride up in the bay, and it was on the boat where Sandoval told Lala that San Francisco was the first trip that him and Ariana ever took together. And Lala says, sad. And Sandoval says, yeah, but that was a really happy time. And once again, we see evidence of growth and a higher perspective from Sandoval. Unlike Ariana, who told Brock, at this point, Sandoval is like scenery. Brock asks her if she can see a future where the two of them can peacefully coexist, and she says, for whose benefit? His? Brock says, no, actually at this point, my wife's. And Ariana says, you mean the woman who I care about more than anything? Who he screamed at less than a week ago? Yeah, sorry, no. I care about her more than to allow her to have people in her life who are gonna scream at her like that. You know what I'm saying? No, Ariana. I don't. Then Brock says, forgiveness isn't accepting what he's done. It's about giving yourself the ability to focus on all the good things you have going on around you. Ariana says, absolutely. But in order to move on happily with your life and focus on the good, you 100% do not have to forgive anyone who's traumatized you. You can just be like, no, fuck off. Then in confessional, she says, the notion that you have to forgive in order to move on with your life is outdated therapy. Gray rocking and going no contact is literally the only way to avoid the shit, the manipulation, all of it. And this is where I have to throw a flag because that is a complete crock of shit. The only way you can heal is to move through the process of healing, which means you need to visit your feelings. You can't hide from them. Ariana goes on to say, to me, there's power in the hurt and in the anger. And in female emotion and being able to have that. Being able to have that? Listen, Ariana doesn't need to love what Tom did. She does need to let it go. Otherwise, the weight of that wound will begin to steer her ship. What did you think about this episode? I want to hear. Comment below and let me know.